Coming up in 10 minutes, Compton and L.A. Pierce on SoCalCollegeSports.com's live coverage of the Compton Tartar Classic. Here from Compton College, Mike Sabata, Jeff Stoynoff, Emery Johnson on the call. Join us in 10 minutes. Spread the word, www.SoCalCollegeSports.com. Also on our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1. moments away from the start of Game 3 on the day of the Compton Tartar Classic. It's the host team, Compton, and L.A. Pierce. These teams met earlier this year. L.A. Pierce, the victor. And the big question here tonight, what do you do to stop Max Edwards for L.A. Pierce? The Brahmas win the tip. And we'll have first possession. Saw Compton yesterday. Tough to gauge how good Compton is going against a team like West Hills Lemoore. But they are in you and feisty defensively. Edwards free on the far side. Looks like he's going to be a little passive early on to get his teammates involved. He's open right now. Gilroy with it. Gives it over. Gets it back. Gilroy kicks. This is Anthony McIntyre. McIntyre off of the mark. Rebound tapped around. Gilroy comes up with it. Another possession here for L.A. Pierce. Kick into the corner. This is Kyle Lord. Lord off of the mark. Hits the backboard. Top of the backboard. And it's going back to L.A. Compton. Mike Cepeda, Jeff Stoynoff, Emery Johnson with you on tonight's call. Jeffrey?
It's going to be a slightly different pace for L.A. Pierce in this one, so they'll have to make an early adjustment.
Well, you know that Compton, after watching them yesterday, is going to want to speed things up. This is Gibson. Gibson missing point blank, rebounded by Anthony McIntyre. McIntyre off to Gilroy. Gilroy looking for Lord. Lord can't contain it cleanly. It falls to Edwards. High post, McIntyre. Great move up and under. And L.A. Pierce going to strike first blood here in the nightcap. Gibson on the dribble. Dominic Alexander really showed well yesterday, along with Mitchell Branch down low, and Terrence Branch, 6'5", sophomore out of Inglewood, California. We'll win a possession. Early foul called on Dominic Alexander. It's James Mitchell, Aaron Gibson, Terrence Branch, Jordan Griffin, and Dominic Alexander starting things off here for Compton College. Gilroy down low, good feed, and it's a dunk and one for Kevin Fasu.
Well, it didn't get off to the most auspicious beginning, but that's a great job attacking the press. The pass, the initial pass to Lord was a bit of a problem, but once he recovered a couple of quick passes, they get it to Fasu for the dunk and the foul, and that's exactly what you want to do against a full court press. Don't be satisfied just to break that press. You got to attack it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't attack a press, especially one that's as chaotic as Compton's, they're going to eat you up. And one opportunity converted by Fasu. It's Fasu, McIntyre, Edwards, Lord, and Gilroy on the floor right now for L.A. Pierce. They got the start. Alexander maybe got away with the travel. Edwards with a block on Branch. Gilroy, looks like he was fouled. Is this going to be the second on Alexander? That's going to go against Branch. That would have been a huge foul early on had it gone against Dominique. Already with one early. 17:56 to go. Game 3 of day 2 of the Compton Tartar Classic live on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Happy you've joined us, everybody. Spread the word. If you have any friends and family who'd like to tune in. SoCal College Sports 1 on YouTube. It's going to be a jump ball. Fasu gets pinned underneath the basket, and the arrow in favor of Compton.
You know, Michael, Compton already starting to sag off that three-point line a little bit, and I think in the case of Max Edwards, that is a very risky strategy.
Really is. Gibson, Branch not on the same page, goes out of bounds. Back to L.A. Pierce. Pierce working right to left in the black uniforms. Compton in the home whites.
I think if you're Pierce here, you might be able to get an inside touch. If you can get it back outside, you might get some open looks from three.
Darius Ennis played with his hair on fire along with James Mitchell last night. He's inserted into the lineup right now. Comes on for Branch.
I believe forcing 44 turnovers is hair on fire territory.
McIntyre down the lane. He's blocked by Jordan Griffin. Fasu can't get that one to go. Back the other way we go. For Compton, Gibson into the lane, in and out, back in again. No, it's tapped out of bounds by Jordan Griffin and back to L.A. Pierce.
You know, Mike, to steal a page out of your book, taking a look at this basket to the right, that strikes me as kind of a tight rim.
It's tight.
It is difficult to get a shot down.
It is not forgiving, that's for sure. Edwards.
That is entirely too much room. That's what we're talking about right there.
Well, Ennis doesn't get the start, and apparently he didn't read film or watch film because Edwards can absolutely stroke it from deep, and he makes his presence felt right away. Wide open, another one. You can't lose that guy in transition. It's a back-to-back three-point opportunity. Now you don't finish the defensive possession.
Yeah,
McIntyre gets a weak-side rebound, and it's a 5-0 run and a 10-2 early lead for L.A. Pierce.
Yeah, no weak-side box out. Compton a little bit out of sorts here to start.
Alexander driving the baseline. He's fouled by Gilroy. Substitution here. It's going to be Creed Reed on the floor. He'll come on for Gilroy. Gilroy. The starter comes off. Ennis at the top of the key. Kicks inside. This is Mitchell looking for a drop step. Good feet from Edwards. He gets another block. His second already. 16:22 to go in the first half. McIntyre being dogged by Dominique Alexander. Lord has it. Lord off to Reed. Over to McIntyre. That's a great flash in the middle post by Lord. Can Lord finish? No, he cannot. I think both rims are pretty tight here, Story.
Looks that way.
Ennis, left-handed layup, no good, but he's fouled. Foul will go against Mo Sacco.
Good mid-course correction by Ennis there. Cut off to the right, able to cross over to the left, get a scoop up on the rim, get himself to the line.
15:54 to go here in the first half. First free throw from Ennis is good.
Ennis, one of 5 players for Compton that averages in double figures.
Hits on the second free throw, 10-4. So the run stopped momentarily here for L.A. Pierce, and it could have been worse. Edwards, this is too much room. And if you're Edwards, shoot the ball. McIntyre from 3. That's off the mark. Edwards looking for a second chance opportunity. Ennis rips it away. Back the other way we go. Here's Mitchell in transition. Gibson has Jordan Griffin. No, he'll keep it himself. Lay it up and in. 10-6.
Well, we're talking about locating shooters if you're Compton, but for Pierce, you've got to get back in transition. Compton going to look to run at every opportunity. They give up the 2-on-1 there and an easy hoop.
Edwards had Sacco in the short corner. Can't find him. It's tapped out of bounds by Ennis. Sacco will come off. He'll be replaced by...
I believe the pronunciation is Aisafat, Michael.
Aisafat.
Yeah,
thank you.
Michael.
Thank you for Aisafat. Appreciate it. So Aisafat into the ball game, along with Justin Harrow. Edwards flashes in the high post, kicks it back out. Reed from 3, seemed rushed, missed its mark. 3-on-2. Jordan Griffin in transition with Ennis, and that's exactly the game that Compton wants to play. It's a 6-0 run, and the lead whittled to 2 here for L.A. Pierce, 10-8.
And again, they beat the Brahma defense down the court, create a 3-on-2.
McIntyre, methodical, looking inside for Aisafat, holds it himself, and Mitchell will be called for the foul here. More substitutions. Gilroy going to check back into the contest along with Fasu. Edwards will come off.
Well, it's not a surprise seeing Guillory and Fasu, 2 of the faster, more athletic members of the team, getting back. I think the concern for the Brahmas having a little trouble in transition defense.
I don't know what Gibson's doing on the baseline out of bounds play. He gives up inside position to Guillory. And it's a foul. Stay baseline out of bounds. Guillory receives the ball, gets a screen from Aisafat. Looking baseline. It's stolen by Alexander, and we'll have a quick foul called This is going to go against Aisafat.
That's good hands. Good hands by Alexander, reading the cut from Reed stepping into that passing lane.
Really like the play of Alexander last night versus West Hills Lemoore. Jordan Griffin also very impressive. Ennis nearly lost it, kicks out to Gibson. Gibson fires from 8 feet, that's short. Aisafat battling for a rebound. Gilleroy on the floor, he kicks out. This is Harrow. Harrow in transition, kicks it back to Gilleroy. Step back three, no, he'll kick it back out to Harrow. Reversal, Aisafat down low, going to go to work, picks up his dribble, nothing there. That's a great find, Fasu. The pass not really there, it's off of the foot. I think it's going to go back to Compton, and it will.
Yeah, Fasu played under 10 minutes yesterday, battling foul trouble from the outset.
It's tough to get into a rhythm when you're battling foul trouble. Griffin finds Gibson in the corner. Gibson, no numbers, he'll pull it back. Dribble up to the top. Stagnant offense here from Compton. They enter to Alexander. Jabs left, goes right. We'll have a loose ball foul going to go against Guillory. Is that a double foul, Story? Is that what they call?
It looks like it is, yeah. They're going to give Guillory his second.
Yeah.
But they're also going to call a foul, I believe, on Ennis, and that's just his first.
Keep Guillory on the floor. No, they do not. Guillory comes off along with Reed. Faced by Eli Cohen.
Cohen a little bit in a similar boat as Max Edwards. You got to locate him on the perimeter. He had 4 threes in the victory over Antelope Valley yesterday.
McIntyre also back into the ball game for the Brahmas. Tartars and the Brahmas here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Jordan Griffin from 3. That's a push in the back. Easy call. Going to go against James Mitchell. 13:45 to go in the first half. Mike Zepeda, Jeff Stoynoff, Emery Johnson with you on tonight's coverage.
That is already the 7th team foul on Compton.
Well, we saw Compton in the bonus very early last night, even against West Hills Lemoore. They're an active team. They like to get up into you, but obviously that's gonna wreak havoc on the foul total. Fasu 1-1. Front end is good.
Fasu shoots 65% from the line.
That breaks a scoreless stretch for L.A. Pierce at numbered about 4 minutes here, Story.
Yeah, they got off to the fast start in the 10-2 lead, but then the Compton defense clamped down.
Yep.
Pierce is a team, the foul shooting up near 70% at 69. So this is not exactly the team that you want to be putting on the line over and over again.
Second free throw up and good. The lead back to 4 here for the Brahmas. Gibson going to bring it up versus Cohen. It's like a 1-1-3 look from L.A. Pierce defensively. Mitchell out to Alexander. Alexander darts in and he'll score. That's too easy against a zone look. Dribble penetration, obviously a killer for zones, but Aisafat nearly lost it. Still on the dribble, gives it out to Fasu. Fasu, they don't cover, they don't stop the ball. He's going to go all the way to the bucket, be short on his attempt. McIntyre now with it on the far side. And through the leg dribble over to Cohen. Cohen, you have to locate the shooter. Cohen, a shooter, not much of a passer, and loses the ball. It's going to be a turnover. Foul on Cohen. Jason Rodriguez and Kyle Lord will check back in. .51 to go.
Two-three zone now for Pierce.
Compton adjusting. See if they can get a mid-post entry. They do. Ennis right there. That shot is blocked up top by Fasu, but it's a foul. Fasu will pick up his first. Fasu with 5 early. Got things started off with a nice dunk down low. Looked pretty clean up top, Emery.
Ennis shoots 71% from the line.
Hits on the first. Edwards back into the ball game, in for Aisafat. I think right now 3 games in a row. Back to back to back. Want to get some reps for some of the deeper players on your bench. Rodriguez going to bring it up for the Brahmas. Over to Lord. Lord near side. Here comes a double team. Edwards, no spacing from Fasu. Edwards wards off. That's an easy bucket for Max Edwards. Just great feel for the game of basketball by Max Edwards. You see it right there. Nice and patient, very composed, and he scores. He's a D1 talent here, Story.
Yeah, it's so easy to get out of sorts against a frenetic pace, but there, as you talked about, the great pacers.
Alexander off the mark. Pressing a little bit from beyond the arc. McIntyre now in transition. Good transition defense here from Compton. Back in a hurry. Aaron Taylor into the ball game. Rodriguez, crossover dribble over to Lord. Lord traveled. Yeah, unless your name's James Harden, you're not going to get away with that. He catches, jumps up, and then tries to reposition his feet to shoot the basketball. It's an easy call. Gibson calling for it in the corner, working on Gibson. Stay with the zone look, does L.A. Pierce. Edwards trying to help out on Alexander, still on the dribble. He'll reverse it over to Jordan Griffith. Ball fake over, Gibson near side. Gibson drives the lane all the way to the bucket. Fasu straight up. Ennis with the recovery and the finish. 14-all. Rodriguez, Edwards, looking for Fasu in the high post. Flashing, here's McIntyre. McIntyre looking for Fasu. Fasu looking to reverse it. He does to Edwards. Wide open 3. No. Too good of a look for Max Edwards. Missing on a couple of pretty good looks. Jordan Griffin with the finish on McIntyre.
Now the Tartars just so deadly in transition. They get the break going very quickly, Michael.
They really do. That one out of bounds. Alexander the last touch. Let's see if we can go back to the replay here. All the way back on this one. Didn't have it. All right. Fasu receives it on the baseline, out of bounds play. McIntyre. Rodriguez holding his dribble. Pretty good job there. And Fasu tries to respond, and he's going to get a technical foul. What are you doing? Coach Weitzel, irate, flush red.
Boy, if you're Rodriguez, you do about 99% of the work there, beating a double team that came at him, finds Fasu wide open, and Fasu just misses the dunk.
Well, not only did he miss the dunk, he adds insult to injury by hanging on the rim. Get back on defense. Alexander misses the technical shot. Well, technical also acts as a personal foul. Fasu now with his second. He battled foul trouble yesterday and shoots himself in the foot right there. So I have been on the receiving end of those substitutions after you missed the dunk when you didn't really need to, and gotta tell you, probably very colorful on that sideline. Taylor from 3. That one's short. Good box out there. Good hands from Max Edwards. Aisafat recovers. McIntyre now in transition. 2-on-2, 2-on-3. McIntyre holds, gives off to Edwards. Maybe got away with a little bit of a travel. Floater's good.
Right now the Tartars really collapsing on the drive, and I think there's opportunities for the Brahmas to drive and kick for open shots.
Good point. Barry Barnes into the building right now for head coach at Long Beach City. Had a talk with him before the game, just catching up. We'll see him later in the year. Coaches versus Cancer Classic. Cerritos and Long Beach will play in the South Coast Conference South later in February. Aisafat, Edwards wide open three. No. So he's got to take that shot.
Oh, absolutely. He's had a couple of wide open looks that haven't gone down.
Maybe a little trigger shy as a result?
Well, you can start to maybe feel a little bit out of rhythm. It's hard to imagine that he's second-guessing himself, but obviously passed on that shot that time.
Full time out on the floor, 16-all. Compton and LA Pierce. All out of the timeout. And Coach Keith Higgins and company just want to settle things down. McIntyre enters into Aisafat.
Got to help him.
Put your big man on the island. Bounces it over. Edwards reverses. Rodriguez traveled.
The way that Compton moves on defense, Michael, if I'm LA Pierce, I almost don't want to see the ball hit the floor. I think you can attack this defense very effectively without taking a single dribble.
Agreed. And to add to that, how about pulling the trigger when you're wide open? And if you're a good shooter, too.
Of course, that's all a little easier said than done against the pressure when you're down on the floor.
Edwards comes out on Mitchell. McIntyre tracks down the rebound. Nearly lost it in transition. He'll hold possession. Kick it over to Edwards. Edwards up to Rodriguez. Back to Edwards. He should shoot that shot. Mitchell's playing off of him. Cohen from way downtown. In and out. 2-on-1. Mitchell fouled by Cohen down low.
And Coach Casey Weitzel's not a fan of the shot that Eli Cohen took. I think it's well within his range, but I don't think that's the shot they wanted at that time.
And Cohen's probably saying to himself, I can hit from half court. What's he talking about?
I think it's always interesting when you're a player like Eli Cohen. You know, obviously, what he brings to this team, the specialty here is hitting shots from long range, and you come out and you want to immediately make your contribution, but you have to let the game come to you a little bit.
And the thing that happens is when you take a three like that out of the flow out of the offense with a team that wants to get in transition, you're feeding right into their hands. That shot better go down, and when it doesn't, you're going to hear about it.
Yeah, it's going to end up with a 2-on-1 and a couple of free throws on the other side.
That's exactly what we saw, and Cohen picked up the foul on the other end. Edwards will respond from three. No. Under 8 minutes to go in the first half. We got a good one here. The Compton Tartar Classic Day 2, final game on the day. That pass nearly stolen by Reed. Ennis recovers, tries to put a little English on it. It falls off. It's recovered here by Robert Salone. Salone lost it. Alexander trying to get it back into play. Oh, it's a great find from Taylor to Ennis. And Alexander with the hustle play gets the lead out to 4.
Well, Salone did not play yesterday. Getting his first work here in the tournament.
Aisafat reverses it near side. Look for Edwards down low. Nice funnel there by Mitchell in the low post. Working against the bigger Max Edwards. They get Reed. They finally enter it in. Working on Ennis now. Hook shot up and good. That's just too easy.
Edwards, the shot from outside, not falling just yet, but he's doing good work in the lane.
I love me a stretch big, and it's fun to watch Max Edwards go to work. Mitchell, tough shot, up and under move. Taylor falling away. Aisafat going straight up. Good no call there in transition here for the Bombers. Here's McIntyre, lays it up, lays it in.
Yeah, I think Taylor does a great job getting on the offensive glass there. And Mike, I think you get that call if he leans into the shot,
Agreed.
but he elects to fall away,
Bailed
and
out.
you're not going to get the call.
Tied up at 20 again. Mitchell at the top of the key. He's looking for a baseline runner. Instead finds Ennis on the far side. The free ball is a little long. Aisafat with a rebound. Oh, Reed's wide open on the backside. He couldn't find him. Aisafat had that ball stolen. Taylor 2-on-2 with Alexander. Taylor's going to lay it up and in.
Yeah, Mike, the horizontal passes are just going to be so dangerous against the Tartars.
Good
Leads
reversal.
to a turnover there.
Creed Reed from three. He's falling to his left. It's off right. Ennis with the rebound. No numbers for Alexander. He doesn't carry. He's going to drive it to the bucket. Up and under. It's blocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Tartars. Some more Riley Jr. into the ball game.
Well, I guess Alexander elects to go 1-on-2 there, but I guess if your game is running, you're never in trouble for running, I guess is what we can take away.
Could have been 1-on-5, and Alexander's going to the rack. Gibson fakes out Fasu. Can't finish point blank. Fasu in transition now the other way. This is Harrow. Harrow on the dribble, and that's just a great job of transition defense again from the Tartars. Very tough team to run on. Reed open from three. Harrow from three. That's off the mark. Edwards with a rebound, point blank again. He'll lay it up and in. Riley Jr. no chance defensively. 22 all. Edwards with 11. It's half the points on the board for L.A. Pierce. Corner three. That's Mitchell. Not the shot you want. Nearly stolen. Edwards able to recover. McIntyre on the far side working against Riley Jr. Look inside. Edwards was 1-on-1. You got somebody on the back, he's 1-on-1. You give it to the big man. Harrow finally finds Edwards. Here comes a double team. Still working through it. He'll put it up. Can't get it to go. Fasu on the offensive rebound. He steps on the end line. We're going the other way.
Yeah, Mike, if I'm L.A. Pierce right now, there is no way I run an offensive set without the ball touching Max Edwards' hands at least once.
Fact. 4:43 to go in the first half. Tight one here from Tartar Jim.
Compton on the last couple of possessions has gotten away from entering the ball into the high post. That had been very effective for them over the last several minutes, but they've gone away from it, and the offense has started to stagnate.
Alexander, very long three attempt. That one's off the mark. Fasu with it. Reversal over to Creed Reed. Jordan Griffin, highlight time. Here we go. Two-handed flush. The tie broken at 24-22.
You know, Michael, the skip pass is going to be very, very difficult to execute against the Tartars.
Under 4 to go in the first half. Edwards looks tired out there. Collision in the middle. It's going to be a foul on Harrow, I believe.
Yeah, Harrow falling in and picking up the foul after he turned it over.
Loose ball foul. It's going to be a 1-on-1 situation. Both teams in the bonus.
That'll send some more Riley to the line where he shoots 56%.
You got to be ready to box out here. Branch back into the ball game for the Tartars. Branch, Riley Jr., Jordan Griffin, Gibson, and Dominic Alexander. This free throw good. Samore says 56% this. See if the numbers hold true. No, 100%, 2 for 2. Bit of the anti-jinx there, Stoy.
Hey, I just report the numbers.
Steal for Alexander. Gibson in transition. Fasu tries to come over for the block. A little late. Layup is there. It's a 6-0 run for the Tartars. They lead it by 6, 28-22. Timeout on the floor. Well, the colors for LA Pierce, black and red, and the red on the jersey matching the color of the face of Casey Weitzel.
You know, Michael, the Brahmas keep on working against this press, picking it up, dribbling just over the center line, and then picking up the dribble. Absolutely the worst place to do that, and it's leading to turnovers. I'd like to see Fasu or Max Edwards maybe come out a little bit higher, offer a target on a diagonal pass to work against this press.
Before you cross half court, in the middle, Fasu on the weak side. He's fouled by Samora Riley Jr. Fasu was thinking another dunk. Riley Jr. said, not so fast.
First foul on Riley.
First free throw for Fasu is good. He's up to 6 points. Aaron Taylor will check back into the ballgame. Come on for Ennis. Second free throw also good for Fasu, so the lead cut to 4 for the Tartars, 28-24.
Now the Brahmas come out in a half-court trap. 1-2-2.
Gibson on the far side, drives the baseline, up and under, move, a pretty one. That's what they called Charmin defense there, Stoy. You have two defenders right there. They went right past them. Rodriguez lost it. Taylor lays it up, can't lay it in. Gibson up high, but I believe that's on the cylinder.
Yeah.
And it's going to be offensive goaltending. It's a great effort there by Gibson after Taylor missed the layup.
Boy, what a break for the Brahmas.
Really was. The baseline runner, you have to get past it. Rodriguez, 2-on-1 now. Lord, Fasu, up and under. That's good. That's a tough shot. Hanging in the air is Fasu. Kevin.
Well, they create the odd man opportunity, and a good job by Lord bringing the defense to him, finding Fasu.
Gibson, no look, near side. Taylor trying to go inside. Broken up by Fasu. He transition the other way. Nobody's going to stop Kevin Fasu. He'll go in and travel.
Well, he's got no numbers there, but I feel like Kevin Fasu only knows one speed.
Fifth gear. You need to learn how to downshift here.
Well, I think also, Michael, it's worth noting that I think that's what's so difficult about playing a team like Compton. They draw you into that pace. And before you know it, you're picking up your pace and looking for opportunities when maybe they're not there.
That's when you got to lean on fundamentals. You got to be able to start and stop on a dime. And Fasu, pretty good, pretty athletic. We see him in transition there, but how about a jump stop and shooting it up from 12, 15 feet?
Yep.
Timeout on the floor, 30-second variety. We'll keep it here, 30-26, 2:16 remaining here in the first half. A good one here in the nightcap.
Entertaining matchup here. They got divergent styles, and I think you have to be very impressed with Compton defensively after they gave up the 10-2 start. They've come back, outscored Pierce 28-16 here to take this lead by 4 points, but a great job adjusting defensively to what the Brahmas have been doing.
Well, able to assert themselves defensively more so, and making the pace a little bit chaotic, and L.A. Pierce has not responded very well to that. Riley Jr. nearly traveled with it, gives off to Ennis. Ennis at the top of the key. He can enter down low. He has Jordan Griffin. Instead gives off to Gibson up top, working against Rodriguez. Kicks out to Aaron Taylor. Taylor with a shot fake, working on McIntyre at the end of the shot clock. That one's off the mark. Lord with a rebound. Under 2 to go, 1:43 to be exact. Rodriguez going to bring it up. On the dribble. Finds Fasu. Fasu. Well, he has Edwards. Had him wide open. That's a great find underneath. Rodriguez, nothing there. Has to bring it back out and loses it underneath. 3 in the key. Well, that's an issue of know your personnel. Would you rather have Max Edwards with somebody on his back wide open, or do you want to go for the flashy pass and hit somebody who's probably the shortest man on the court right now in just a heap full of bodies? Unable to get a shot up. It's a 3-second violation, and it's a turnover again. Compton forced 44 yesterday, and it's up and under move versus McIntyre. That's good. Out to a 6-point advantage now, the largest for Compton.
And there's the stop on a dime that you were talking about there, as Edwards able to stop and create that passing lane. Find Ennis.
Rodriguez up and under move, can't get it to go. Fasu with a rebound, fouled underneath. 2 shots coming his way to Kevin Fasu. 1:03 to go here in the first.
You know, Mike, I think the way that you can make Kevin Fasu the most effective he can be is simply getting the ball going at the basket and creating offensive rebounding opportunities. Fasu far and away the leading rebounder for the Brahmas on the season. And that's where he's going to make plays.
First free throw up and good for Kevin. 32-27, and that's where the score will remain, but it's a missed free throw. And a rebound for Kevin Fasu, and another possession here. Edwards wide open from 3, lets fly, and that was an air ball. And Edwards off the mark here. He does have a triple to his credit here in the first half, but 1 of 4, I believe, from beyond the arc. And
yeah, Jordan Griffin with the closeout there and is able with his length to still bother that shot somewhat.
Alexander takes a bump. Fasu goes straight up. Ennis taps it out of bounds, and really love the defensive intensity from Ennis. Darius, a 6'2 sophomore from Linwood, California, local product. Edwards picks up his dribble right past the inline, or right past midcourt. Gets it back, kicks it out to Lord. Wide open look. Great find, and the finish from Lord from 3. Cuts it to a 2-point deficit. Jordan Griffin quickly back the other way. Has that tapped out of bounds by Kevin Fasu. Fasu inserting a little energy into the defensive efforts of L.A. Pierce. 15 seconds remaining in the first half. Clean up a wet spot down there.
You have to be very aware if you're the Brahmas in this situation. A lot of opportunities to rub someone off a screen on the inside, maybe get a lob off an inbound play.
Guillory off. Always have to be wary of that. Ennis had a wide open look. Instead, he's going to give it out to Gibson, who will hold for the final shot, presumably in the first half. McIntyre comes out, gets a little bit more pressure behind, through the leg dribble. Gibson all the way to the rack, lays it up, and lays it in. That will do it for the first half. 34-30. Tartars, the home team, holding serve at home in the nightcap of Day 2 of the Compton Tartar Classic. Start of the second half, Compton and L.A. Pierce. Compton with a 4-point lead. Final game of day 2 of the Compton Tartar Classic here in 2018.
14 turnovers for Pierce in the first half. See what kind of adjustments they make.
Well, adjustment not made yet. They open the second half with a turnover on this possession. Mitchell inside, looking for some help. He finds Jordan Griffin on the far side. He'll bring it back to Dominique Alexander.
Meanwhile, Michael, Compton out-rebounded 23-11 in the first half. See what adjustments they're able to make.
Near steal, Alexander cleans up the mess. Left-handed layup and one.
The more frenetic the pace, the better for Dominique Alexander. Takes advantage of the loose ball there, gets to the rim, gets the foul, and converts.
Really good basketball instincts right there, and you see the quickness to the ball first and the finish. 36-30. Pending the and one opportunity, which is converted 37-30. 19-17 left to play in this one. Special thanks, of course, to Andre Pacheco, interim athletic director here at El Camino Compton. And Keith Higgins, head coach for the Compton Tartars. It's the 3rd year in a row that we've been able to come here. 2nd year doing the tournament. Always very gracious. And we thank them for that. Guillory out front. Fasu over to Max Edwards. It's good pressure there by Jordan Griffin right into the grill of Max Edwards. They switch off, looking inside. Like to see him pivot around and see if he can get a lob over the top. Lord from 3. No. Fasu, good anticipation there, near steal. Jordan Griffin able to maintain possession, finds a streaking Alexander at the top of the key. They'll bring it back. Compton going to set up the offense here. Lack of movement offensively. Jordan Griffin going to try to make something happen. Can't flick it in. McIntyre with a rebound for L.A. Pierce, and the Brahmas off to the races.
And here's a guy that the Brahmas need to step up, Anthony
Great
McIntyre.
Find down low, and Jeff right on cue. McIntyre delivers with a pretty pass to Lord.
Yeah, averaging over 18 a game. He's only got 6, but he can make plays in transition like that one.
So Lord with the layup cuts it to a 5-point deficit. After the lead had swelled to 7 for the Tartars. Alexander still on the dribble, gives off to Jordan Griffin from 3. That one short, rebounded by Ennis. Ennis with double figures off of the bench in the first half for the Tartars. Another possession here for Compton. Gibson fouled up top by Fasu. That's his 3rd. I'll check that. That's going to be his 2nd foul. And we're going to have a timeout called by Compton. Up 5 and 2 shots coming to Gibson when we come back. Two shots coming on Aaron Gibson. Second foul on Fasu. He's going to come out of the ball game. Sacco will return. I believe you call him Mo. First free throw, in and out. Well, Jeff, we've talked about it time and again. Both rims pretty unforgiving. Second one, no doubter there from Gibson.
Yeah, the way around that is to not touch the rim at all.
That helps. It's like in boxing, don't put it in the judge's hands. Guillory nearly lost it to Alexander. Alexander still dogging him. Guillory's going to be fouled by Mitchell.
Interestingly, these teams met back on December 1st. That was a victory for L.A. Pierce, 91-84. So clearly right off the bat, this game being contested at a little different pace. And you would think, on paper, that this pace would perhaps favor L.A. Pierce. This is the pace that they would want, but they already have the victory back on December 1st in a little bit faster paced ball game. Meanwhile, it's Compton that leads here. So that'll tell you something about the conventional wisdom.
Gibson into double figures along with Ennis. Ennis with 12. What a luxury it is to have a person who doesn't even start in double figures in the first half. Mitchell with the rebound. After the missed free throw, 38-33. Change the score up top. And the jump ball forced. Possession arrow will stay here. Emory, it's 38, not 39.
Scoreboard was wrong, but they've gotten it corrected.
Now we're good. 17:20 to go here in the second half. 5-point lead for the Tartars. Baseline out of bounds. They stack it up. Find Ennis on the inbound, so back it up, working against Mo Sacco. Taylor swings it around over to Jordan Griffin. Gibson, crossover dribble, working on McIntyre, lays it up, can't find the bucket. Sacco with a rebound, off to McIntyre, and McIntyre a little shaky with the dribble, able to recover, gets a screen from Sacco. Wide open, Max Edwards in the quarter, good recovery there by Taylor. Guillory, out to McIntyre, turn and face, dribbles to the basket, holds off the defender. Lord with the rebound and the putback finish.
A little bit of good fortune for the Brahmas. That ball caroms off right to Lord.
Well, it's better be lucky than good, Story.
It's the title of my autobiography.
Do win. Do outwin.
As soon as something happens in my life.
16:20 remaining here in the second half. Alexander way out front. Guillory bit on a shot fake. Ennis lays it up, lays it in. Sacco comes over to help after Alexander had beaten the defense.
Yeah, it all starts with Alexander's ability to get into the lane.
Dominic Alexander, freshman from Gardena. It's a three ball for Max Edwards, and you just can't leave that guy open from three.
That's exactly the spacing they're trying to create there. Taylor comes off a little bit, doesn't recover in time.
You know, Edwards now with 14 in the ball game, 1 of 4 from deep, 5 for 8 in the first half from the field. But, you know, Jeff, I thought he didn't have a particularly great first half.
Well, he didn't shoot the ball very well from outside, but if that gets going, he can really fill it up.
Ennis looking for a friendly roll, not going to find one. Lord with the rebound. Off to Guillory. Coming up on the 15-minute mark here in the second half. Guillory going to get a screen from Sacco, set up nicely. Guillory all the way to the bucket, kicks out. Lord hops into one, puts it up and in from three, and the lead back to L.A. Pierce by 41-40. Lord up to 10 points in this ball game. Gibson quickly back the other way, lays it up too strong. Sacco with a rebound, off in transition. This is McIntyre, 2-on-4. Will he keep it himself? He will. Charge. Gibson beats him to the spot, and it's unfortunate, too, because you had Lord trailing to play, and if McIntyre takes one dribble out and is able to find the shooter trailing to the corner, that could have been trouble.
Yeah, this is a tough matchup for McIntyre, who relies on that first step, his length and athleticism, but he's running into a lot of the same here in the Tartars defensively.
Unfortunately, he's not the most athletic guy on the floor. Certainly not the quickest. I think that contest would be won by Dominic Alexander in a 40. Wet spot on the floor. They're taking care of that. I'll tend to my beverage.
I got Dominique Alexander for the win in the old school shuttle run. You remember that?
You still do that at the combine? 3-cone drill? Something like that. I don't know.
And now the Brahmas are going to step up with a little full court pressure.
Some more Riley Jr. into the ball game. Taylor, Gibson, Alexander, and Ennis. Bit of a smaller lineup here for Compton. Alexander fouled by Harrow.
Harrow gives him a little bump on the drive, and for the Brahmas, that's the 4th team foul here with just under 15 minutes to go in the game. Compton has just 1.
Alexander makes it so tough. He's so quick and shifty, but he can punish you from deep as Taylor gets into the teeth of the defense and finishes the lead back to Compton. Here comes a little pressure here. 3-quarter court trap. Lord. As the ball is reversed to Kyle. Edwards dribbles out, gives over to Sacco. See Edwards relocate. He goes inside. I just don't understand it. I don't understand the mentality. I know post play is not really a big focal point in basketball anymore, but you have Max Edwards, who's been a beast down low, and instead of giving it to him with somebody on his back, you try to reverse the ball against a very athletic bunch with somebody in the passing lane, and Harrow threw it away and turned it over. 14:06 remaining. Luckily, it didn't cost L.A. Pierce any buckets. We'll see Creed Reed to the line now. He can tie things up if he makes on the second.
I would expect right now, if Edwards goes down low and I'm Compton, I'm really packing it inside right now with the exception of Eli Cohen. The 3-point shooting from L.A. Pierce can be a little bit spotty. Maybe McIntyre or Lord's knocked down a couple. Yeah. You're going to make them beat you from out there if they can.
Lord off right now, in and out. The rim remains unforgiving. To the visiting squad, and the Brahmas still down by 1. Ennis maybe gets away with a little bit of a carry. Hesitation move on Creed Reed. Back up jumper, no good. That one rimming out. Rodriguez over to McIntyre. McIntyre reverses over to Creed Reed. Hesitates from 3. That one's short. Sacco with a rebound on the weak side. It's tapped out of bounds by Riley Jr.
Sacco has given them a very nice run here in this second half, doing a lot of what Kevin Fasu typically does for this team.
Creed Reed just missed from 3. Was wide open there, and elects to not take it. Mid-post entry there from Max Edwards, and Edwards is going to finish, and that's just way too easy. And why not go to that more? The game is really easy if you hit him in the mid-post and make something happen.
Exactly what you're talking about, the point you made moments ago. I don't think they have anyone who can guard him in the low post, Max Edwards.
Sacco looking up ahead. He has Creed Reed. Creed Reed in transition. Steps around the defender and scores in transition. And it's a 3-point lead now here for L.A. Pierce after a quick 4-0 run. 45-42. 12:55 remaining in the second half, and the Brahmas with a 3-point lead. Not anymore. Jordan Griffin said, not anymore. Tied up at 45 all. As Griffin hits on the triple. McIntyre splitting a double team, looking for some help. Gets a lifeline in the name of Jason Rodriguez. Rodriguez kicks it over to Jordan Reed. Reed, McIntyre from way downtown, and how do you defend that when you have players hitting from 30 feet? Well, Jeff, you talked about McIntyre, one of the players that can burn you from deep. We see it right there. Gibson, left-handed layup through the teeth of the defense once again. And Coach Keith Higgins says, I want more full-court pressure.
Well, we talked about the fact that Compton doesn't appear to have anyone that can match up with Max Edwards in the low post. But Pierce doesn't appear to have anyone that can guard Gibson when he goes to the basket.
Reed to the bucket, can't finish, point blank. Gibson the other way, lays it up and lays it in. The lead back to the Tartars after their own 4-0 run. Timeout, Keith Higgins, and he's saying more cowbell, baby, and the cowbell, the full court pressure, and we'll see that when we come back. (49-48), a dueling 4-0 runs. Compton getting the better of it right now, up by 1. More full court pressure now here. Here comes McIntyre in transition, falling down, keeps his bounce. Edwards wide open in the corner from 3. Griffin comes over, alters the shot. Fasu with a rebound. Fasu, another possession here for LA Pierce. They can take the lead with a made bucket. Good press break there from LA Pierce out of the timeout. Looking for Fasu in the mid-post. Nothing there. McIntyre gets a hot shot pass there from Guillory. Taylor falls down. Fasu on the baseline. Good power move and a finish. Lead back to the Brahmas. Gibson having himself a second half.
Up to 15 in the game.
7 here in the second half. Rodriguez nearly lost the dribble, kicks it back out to Guillory. McIntyre wide open. Jordan Griffin retreats. Edwards inside. Has that one blocked. Reverse layup is good. Just so good. Very high level of dexterity for Max Edwards. Jordan Griffin quickly back the other way, has that shot blocked, and Jordan Griffin comes up hobbling after that play. Guillory over to Rodriguez. Griffin trying to get back into it. McIntyre down low. Fasu has that one blocked on the backside by Jordan Griffin. He forces a jump ball. How about that effort from Jordan Griffin? Takes a shot to the leg, hobbling up the court, able to get a block. We'll see it on the replay here on the other end.
I tell you, Mike, McIntyre doesn't go with the old Dick Vitale rule, always go in the lane with the intention of shooting. Maybe one extra pass ends up with a pretty good look for Fasu. Ends up being a jump ball after a great play by Griffin, but McIntyre's got about a wide open shot from about 7-8 feet there.
Well, Fasu just needs to get the ball up on the rim a lot quicker than he did. I think he wanted to gather and power it in. That's a great baseline out of bounds play. And you can't leave Edwards that wide open. He sets a beautiful screen. Help comes over. Wide open as he reverse pivots for the seal off and the finish.
Up to 20 in the game now.
Coming up on the 10-minute mark here. Halfway through the second half, Rodriguez with a foul, covering Jordan Griffin, trying to shoot through the defense. 15th foul on the Brahmas. 3C2A men's basketball coverage. The Compton Tartar Classic on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Griffin inside, has Branch. Branch streaking to the bucket. Left-handed layup, good touch and a finish. Rodriguez, Guillory, Edwards in transition. Finds a streaking Fasu travel. A little herky-jerky there on the pass. See it here. 1-2, travel. He needed to put the ball down going into the second step before taking that step. Easy call, 9:34 to go. Jordan Griffin. Tartars trailing by 1. Branch thought about dunking it, didn't have a clear handle on it. Instead tried to lay it up, and he was off the mark. Guillory thought he passed over the timeline there. Fasu with a dunk on the baseline. The feed from Rodriguez.
A good job attacking the press, and a good job by Guillory making that adjustment before he heads over the half-court line.
Missed shot again here for the Tartars. Fasu traveled one more time. He knew it. Well, Jeff, you talked about the speed that Fasu plays at. He only knows one speed. That's in turbo mode. And sometimes you're going to find yourself traveling quite a bit. Taylor on the dribble, gives over to Ennis. Ennis been quiet here in the second half. Double figures in the first, fires from the top of the key. That shot in and out. Fasu had the rebound momentarily. It's going to be a foul on Aaron Taylor.
Yeah, good position for Fasu, and Taylor fouls him on the rebound. Just the first foul for Taylor.
Yep. Ennis had 12 in the first half. Only 2 here in the second. Branch is going to come off. Lord back into the ballgame. He'll come on for Kevin Fasu. So Kyle, very effective from beyond the arc. He's in double figures with 10 points. Edwards with 20. 56-53. LA Pierce up by a triple. Rodriguez enters the Guillory. McIntyre from 3. Good stroke. A little long off the back iron. Taylor up ahead of the pack. Pass not there from Mitchell.
Brahmas catch a break there. McIntyre a little bit slow getting back, watching his shot. And Taylor slipped behind him, but the pass a little too strong.
Guillory brings it quickly ahead. McIntyre into the corner, looking for Lord. Pass a little high. Lord skies to get it. Drives the baseline, working on Mitchell. It's a travel. Jump stop.
And that's exactly what Casey Whitesell was talking about on that sideline for the Brahmas.
Taylor back the other way. He'll bury the triple and tie things up at 56 all.
I tell you, we had a great look at that shot from Taylor. No lean right or left. Got himself set for that shot and buried it.
Straight up, great base. Edwards down low. Steal from Taylor.
Pass.
You have Edwards down low one-on-one with somebody on his back. Instead, you try to go cross-court against a team of athletes. It's a steal. It's an and-one opportunity. The lead back to Compton, and a chance to go up by 3.
And again, it's the skip pass that really is the culprit. A ball in the air that long is going to be a problem more often than not.
Timeout, full variety here. 7:33 to go. The lead back to Compton. Starting to find a groove. .33 to go. The and one opportunity converted by Aaron Taylor.
How about Taylor with a 6-0 run? He's got 10 in the game now.
7:27 to go. Another steal. Rodriguez turning it over. Gets it right back from Gibson. Bounce pass over to Edwards. Edwards finishes at the rim. Well, give me some more Max Edwards. He's up to 22 in the ball game.
Nice job staying with it by Rodriguez after coughing it up. Gets the steal, leads to the transition bucket.
Taylor, great dribble through the legs, backs it up, can't finish. Working against Kyle Lord. Edwards with a rebound will slow things up. Brahmas trailing by 1 versus the home team Tartars. Good screen there from McIntyre. Rodriguez loses the ball again. No look, Jordan Griffin in transition, lays it up and in for the Tartars, back to a 3-point lead for Compton. McIntyre, inside out dribble at the rim, and that's just a pretty finish from Anthony McIntyre.
Good to see McIntyre getting himself going to the basket. Got to stay aggressive.
He's so shifty. Able to finish very smoothly. Mitchell at the top. Griffin going to fire from 3 in rhythm and hit.
Couple of threes in this second half for Griffin.
Lead out to 4. Mitchell, or McIntyre rather, had a chance to respond. Instead brings it back out. They reverse it over. Edwards down low. Now they find it, but they throw it away. 2-on-1. Griffin up top. Here's the lob. There's the finish.
Only one back for Pierce. Leaves the 2-on-1.
Looks like he maybe pulled a calf here. I think he's cramping. McIntyre trying to get it up on the rim. Rebounded by Mitchell. We have a timeout called, and I think Jordan Griffin is cramping up. 6-point lead for the Tartars. Take a timeout on the floor, and we'll tend to Jordan Griffin. Is it an injury timeout or an actual timeout? Still, I think they're just going to keep it in play.
Yeah, no timeout taken here.
Yeah, it was just an injury timeout. They wanted to tend to the player, and Coach Casey Weitzel said, hey, what's going on here? Gibson, 3-on-2 versus the press. That's easy money for Mitchell on the baseline.
Yeah, Mitchell's come in here in the last minute or two and is matched up with Max Edwards. But now Gibson back on Edwards. Let's see if the Brahmas try to go inside.
Plenty of time left, 68-60. It's a great job by Edwards sealing off. Edwards, Guillory, able to get it inside. Shot up no good, but he's fouled. Looked like it was Alexander or Taylor.
I'll tell you what I love about what Guillory just did there. He gets the ball in the lane and goes right up. That's his best opportunity to either get the basket or the foul. Doesn't gather himself, doesn't take the dribble. Right back up, good things happen.
First free throw up and good for Guillory. Under 5 to go, 4:59 to go in this one, 68-61. Compton was down a little earlier after Pierce had gone on a run, but Jeff, it's a game of runs, and Compton on one themselves.
Well, and the 3 ball, of course, the great equalizer. If you get a couple of long-range shots, tie this thing up in 2 possessions.
Aaron Taylor so key in that run to give the Tartars this lead. Riley Jr. on the baseline, a long 2.
I'll tell you, the story has been torrid shooting in the last few minutes for the Tartars, leading to this 8-point lead.
They've been able to create some separation. Edwards in the corner, try to erase it with 3 ball. No. Reed not there on the doorstep with the follow. Fasu can't contain it from going out of bounds. It goes back to the Tartars.
Well, the Brahmas, that is an incredibly disappointing trip down. They get a wide open look for Edwards. He can't get it to go.
Bring that back there. Bring that back, Emery, one more time. One more. A little bit more. You got a couple more seconds for me? Watch this shot here. You see Edwards so good at keeping it up there, but he trails off to the right. You see his hand on the release. He just sticks it up there with the gooseneck. Going to get a better result. He's been a little off tonight from deep. 4:08, Gibson on the baseline. Lays it up and lays it in.
That's great high-low action for the Tartars. Now their largest lead.
Out to double digits by 10, 72-62, under 4 to go. McIntyre, a little hesitation, brings it back out, picks up his dribble, enters into Max Edwards. Edwards, here comes a triple team. Jump ball, no foul. Should be a foul. It's going to be the 15th foul, so no bonus yet. Baseline out of bounds for Pierce. Would have liked to have seen Max maybe just kind of jump back into the defense. We'll enter into McIntyre here. Edwards from 3. That one's short. Alexander dribbling through some obstacles here. Gives off to Ennis. Gets it back. Dribble the lane. Kick it back out. Nearly stolen by Fasu, but he fouls Gibson. 17 fouls, so the bonus 1-1 for Aaron Gibson. Timeout LA Pierce, 3:29 to go in this one. And Pierce down double digits. Compton looking for more when we come back. Well, if you're the Brahmas, you had an opportunity to really give yourselves a lead at one point. I believe they were up 4, and they had a couple opportunities with Max Edwards down low to enter him the ball. But in the half-court setting, you try to cross-court pass it with these athletes for Compton, and that's just not going to do you any good. Bit of a run spurned by Aaron Taylor. Aaron Gibson. We find the Tartars up by 11 after the front end of the 1-and-1 made by Gibson. .329 to go in this one. Second free throw no good. Fasu with a rebound. Some more Riley Jr. along with Gibson. Dominic Alexander. Darius Ennis and Aaron Taylor on the floor. Guillory hesitates from 3. Kicks off to Edwards. Edwards quickly up on the rim. That's good. He's up to 24 points on the night.
Good feed from Guillory.
McIntyre late getting back from the weak side. McIntyre able to get a hand on it. Looked like that went off of Riley Jr. You can see that again. 73-64. Yeah, that went off of Riley Jr. for sure. Pretty good look at it. 2:56 to go. Creed Reed. Near steal. Well, those are the type of bounces you need to go your way when you're down by 9 and under 3 to go. Gibson, Ennis. Ennis kicks it back. Could have taken an ill-advised 3. Gibson, meanwhile, has it blocked by Kevin Fasu. We're going to have a foul called.
Yeah, Fasu with nearly 2 blocks a game, far and away leading the Brahmas this season. And that's the evidence of the athleticism, the leaping ability of Kevin Fasu right there. He's able to deny Gibson, which is something that no other Brahma's been able to do tonight.
Jordan Griffin has tended to the cramping situation. He's back out on the floor. Guillory looking for a screen from Kevin Fasu. Guillory nearly threw that one away into the corner. Creed Reed from 3. That one's short. Fasu up on the glass with the putback.
You've still got time.
That one thrown out of bounds. A turnover here. 73-66. L.A. Pierce thinking about going on a run. Keith Higgins imploring his squad to just settle down here. We got the lead. No need to press. I want the other team to do that. Guillory enters into Max Edwards. Here comes a double team. Max nearly had that one poked away. Guillory finds McIntyre. McIntyre on the near side. Puts it up and in and one.
Boy, they had Edwards in all kinds of trouble.
Look at this play. What a great effort from Anthony McIntyre. See it a couple more times here.
Yeah, Guillory comes over to give Edwards some help.
That's a good feed from Guillory on the baseline. That's not a very orthodox pass, but he makes it work, and McIntyre able to finish, take the contact, and he can cut it to a 4-point deficit with a made free throw, and he does exactly that. 2:15 to go. It's a 4-point lead for the Tartars.
Hold it right there, Michael.
Another turnover. Fasu in transition back the other way. 1-on-3. McIntyre hangs in the air. He's fouled by Taylor.
And the thing to watch here, as we talked about, is does that arm come down for
it does.
Taylor? It looked
Indeed.
like it was initially
absolutely came down. If he goes straight up, it's not a foul, but he brings the arm down. We see it on the replay. He does it.
Yep.
The left arm is the one that came back. We'll see it here one more time, and, well, make it really easy for the official when you do that. First free throw up and good.
Meanwhile, McIntyre quietly up to 15 in the game. If he can convert here, it'll be a 9-0 run. That's short.
But the rebound's going to carry him off and find itself in the hands of the Brahmas.
8-0 run for the Brahmas when it looked like they were all but dead.
Fasu in the lane, traveled again.
Boy, he makes that fake there. I think he's anticipating that there's somebody right there with him. Little does he realize how incredibly open he is.
One dribble, drop step, dunk would have done it. And cut it to one. Instead, the lead remains 3 for the Tartars. And here comes some full court pressure from L.A. Pierce. I'm surprised we're still seeing the pressure. Alexander back the other way. That one's blocked by Kevin Fasu. A little redemption on the other end. Guillory now with possession. He's fouled by Alexander. 1-and-1 time here. Bad foul for the freshman from Gardena.
Yeah, Mike, I'm with you that I'm not a huge fan right now of the decision to keep the press on, especially with a couple of exceptions, a couple of turnovers, a little spate about a minute ago. For the most part, Compton's done very well against that press tonight.
Well, it certainly worked the last 2 possessions, but for the most part, Jeff, I think you and I would both agree. I think on the floor you have some ball handlers that can really hurt you against that press. And Pierce not as athletic as Compton.
Yeah, Compton's trying to bring back a little showtime here. They're
really
pretty good in transition. Very comfortable.
And now L.A. Pierce in the bonus, the double bonus the rest of the way. Both teams in the bonus. Only a 1-and-1 for Compton. Guillory out to 4 points after the made free throw. And cut it to 1 right here. 73-72, 139 to go, and down the stretch we come here in Compton. The Tartars, Gibson nearly traveled. Ennis down the middle, fouled by Fasu, and one!
Well, you gamble with the press, it creates the 2-on-1, and Mike, they're so good finishing at the rim. When they get a 2-on-1, oftentimes it doesn't just lead to 2 points, it leads to an opportunity for 3 points.
It's tough. You're really at the mercy there of the athlete in Darius Ennis because he has the athleticism where if you bring yourself outside of the restricted area, he can just float in midair around you and avoid the contact, maybe even pick up the call. So Fasu challenges him. Athlete versus athlete. Cannot convert the end one opportunity, so it still remains a one-possession ball game here with 1:26 to go. McIntyre on the far side.
Oh, they got to reverse it.
Dribbles out. Guillory dogged by Alexander. Lord nearly traveled again. Steal by Alexander. Little breathing room here for the Tartars, now up 5 with 1:07 remaining.
Alexander up over 21 a game. Also chips in with 2.6 steals. That was a huge one.
Alexander only with 7 in this one, but 2 huge points there, and we have 2 shots coming to the foul for Alexander. That's his 3rd.
Boy, Guillory came pretty close to a little push-off there.
Really did. Well, best case scenario, if you're LA Pierce, a chance to put 2 points on the board with no time coming off of the clock.
Yeah, it's not a foul you want if you're Compton. Guillory shoots 67% from the line for the season. This is a big one to get it back to a one-possession game.
It's in. 77-74. 55 seconds to go. Full court pressure. Jordan Griffin nearly throws that away. Gibson finds Alexander. 3-on-2. Good active hands from McIntyre. McIntyre almost traveled. Gives it up to Kevin Fasu. Maybe think about taking a timeout right here. No, Fasu now in transition. Creed Reed. A little unsure about himself. Oh, Edwards wide open from 3 in the corner. Can't find the range and goes out of bounds. Alexander caught a hip check from Max Edwards.
Well, we're going to the replay here, and you can't really hope for a much better shot than that, but that run out by the Tartars has really seemed to bother Max Edwards all night.
Yeah. It's exactly what you want. Great extra pass by McIntyre, and just going after the ball. 2 players going after it. Dominic Alexander still on the floor right now. Take a break in the action. Dominic Alexander has to come out of the ball game. Did come out under his own power. Quick foul on Mitchell. So James Mitchell will go to the free throw line. 6'6" sophomore from Los Angeles, California. 27 seconds remaining. 77-74. A chance to make this a 2-possession ball game. This is a 1-and-1 situation.
And if you're Pierce, this is the guy you want to foul statistically. A 33% foul shooter on the season and not many attempts.
Yeah, very small sample size. But
yeah, taking less than half a free throw per game on the season.
Got to box out. First free throw up and good, though. It's a nice clutch free throw from Mitchell. Little cushion here. Second free throw up and good. Certainly doesn't look like a 33% free throw shooter.
Best looking 33% shooter I've seen in a while.
79-74. Little insurance for Compton. They take a timeout with 26 seconds remaining. Compton going to sag off here, up by 5. Set the defense. Kick out, Fasu. Pump fake from beyond the arc. Guillory from 3. That's good. 79-77, and hold the phone here.
16.4 seconds, a lot of time.
Guillory now up to double digits tonight. Full timeout taken by L.A. Pierce. They will reset their defense. No shot clock. Expect the press and a quick foul when we come back. Two-point lead for the Tartars. This one not over yet. Taylor, Gibson fouled by McIntyre with 13 seconds to go.
We need both of them.
Gibson shoots 68%.
Makes on the first. Gibson up to 19 points in this one. Second free throw also good. Back to a 4-point advantage. Another quick bucket here.
Oh, could have been a foul on Guillory.
Fasu into the corner. Creed Reed. Shot blocked by Taylor. That should do it. 5 seconds to go. A quick foul on Gibson by Edwards.
Taylor, good job getting back there, contesting that shot and getting the block. And if you're Reed in that situation, you think to yourself, well, maybe you take a pump fake, but you don't have that kind of time, Michael. Down to 5 seconds. You got to get a shot up quickly. Taylor knows that. Able to get the block.
Free throw up and good. For Gibson, now up to 21 points in this one. He'll seal the deal.
Yeah, they were clutch on the free throws down the stretch.
Well, L.A. Pierce made it interesting. Guillory going to miss from 3 as time expires. 83-77. Your final here on day 2. The Compton Tartar Classic. Thanks again for everybody who tuned in, and also to everybody here at Compton College. Andre Pacheco, Keith Higgins. Jeff, any last words?
No, just thank you, buddy.
I appreciate you. And I love you, Emory Johnson. Jeff Stoynoff, I'm Mike Cepeda signing off. We'll see you tomorrow at 2:30. Check that. We'll see you at 4:30.